Hey guys, it's Ashley, your scrapping nerd, and I'm excited. Today is day one of 31 days of cut files with MK and Janet. And today's cut file is from COPA Cutfiles, and it's a stitching cut file, which is that star there. And I'm just using a bunch of some papers from my stash. I did have a this paper is authentic paper, but otherwise the rest, who knows where it came from. I've had it forever, you know. And so I'm going to start with the cut file. And so I was using my pokey tool just to get the holes to be open, so when I stitch them, I'm not having to push with the needle. And I wanted the star to be red, so I am using fired brick to ink up the star. And then I had this blue shiny like DMC floss that I actually stitched the star with, and I did just a back stitch on it. In the center part of the star, I am using the chipped sapphire to ink, and so that was the star all finished. And so I am scrapping pictures from California Adventure when we went, and it's in front of the Captain America shield. And so I thought, well, I was going to use the cut file since it was a star and make my own sort of Captain America shield, if you will. But I didn't want it to just be red and blue, and so that's why I grabbed, like, the red paper is textured, and then I have the blue stripe, and then the silver here is shiny. And I used my Cricut and I cut circles out, and so I think the big one was 11 inches, and so the black circle behind it is like 11.3, just to have, I wanted to have them matted so it helped kind of differentiate from each circle. And then the star, the blue part of the star in the center, I popped up on foam. And then I'm going to use this authentic paper here as my main paper, but I will also matte this in black. And I really like the black. I think it just kind of grounds everything and makes it stand out a little bit more. And so I'm just using, you saw the circle was cut out of the black paper here, and so I'm just using the scrap since there was enough to just matte it. And I'm just covering these corners here because it's really thin on the edges of this part, and so I wanted to make sure that those stuck. But I really like the idea. It's kind of like Captain America, but so it has the red, white, and blue, but it's still not just red, white, and blue. So I have the little polka dots that kind of tie in with my big quote-unquote shield here. And then this COPA Cutfile was just perfect for these pictures, and I love it. And I'm actually going to be doing a pocket page, and that's I'll do after this page if you want to stick around and watch that one. It's a little choppy because pocket pages are always such a pain. I make such a mess when I make a pocket page because it's like making 9 little layouts. But that'll be at the end of the video. And so I thought about matting the photos, but I didn't want to keep taking away from my shield here. So I just am going to put the photos in the top and bottom. And it was funny because I already glued my star down, and so you saw I had to kind of trim the edge of the photo so it would slide behind the star because I had already glued it down. And I really like how this turned out, and there's not much on this side of the layout. I put this little arrow that says say cheese, and I went through my Echo Park and my Simple Stories Disney collection stickers and just found some fun sayings. The one on the photo at the top says too cute, and then I put memories to last a lifetime, and I did put black behind those. But that's pretty much all I put on this side, which is really new for me. But I thought that my, quote unquote shield there and the cut file did all the work on that side, so I didn't really need to add any more embellishments. And then so now we're going to work on the pocket page. And so first what I'm doing is I just kind of used all my scraps that were left over from cutting all the circles because I wanted it to seem like it's the same page but still have a little bit of identity of its own. And so I put all the scraps that I had kind of to have ideas in each of the pockets. And I did back all of the photos with the black paper just so they had a mat around those that kind of ties in with the other side. And so I'm just kind of organizing all this, and then you will see I will start to do each of the little sections separately. And I'm gonna mat this side here. This pocket page is from scrapbook.com, and I didn't actually purchase this myself. Like, I found at like a thrift store or something a pack of different kinds of pocket pages. And so this one has this weird kind of strip on the left side. I say it's weird because, I mean, you couldn't really put a picture there, and so it's really just to decorate. And so I am going to use the red and the black on the strip on the side, and then these arrows, it's kind of interesting. I'm going to have part of them kind of stick out on top of the pocket page just because I wanted them to be in the line like that, and I didn't want to cut them and try to line it up with the picture that's next to it. So I just have those kind of sticking out on top of the pocket page, which is fine. And then you can see here I'm just matting my photos. So these two photos were of Captain America and I think it's Black, is it Black Widow? Yeah. Up by the airplane up there. We were there at 2021, and so I'm not sure if they do this all the time at California Adventure, because when we were there right after COVID, you weren't allowed to go to the characters. Like, you couldn't stand next to them. They had them all kind of behind partitions, or like all of the Marvel characters were up on this like balcony here. So I don't know if that's a normal thing or if they actually come down off this balcony now and mingle with the crowd now that we're kind of, out of COVID season. But I just wanted to put those photos here with us and the Captain America shield. I just thought that was a good place to put them. And I'm just scattering some of that words from the Echo Park and Simple Stories. I have snapshot, best day ever, what a blast, a world full of wonder. And so, yeah, I think that it turns out really cute, and it just kind of adds all of the, I used up all of the scraps, which is always good. What I can put less in the scrapbook or in the scrap bin is a plus, because that thing's overflowing. And so this is the middle photo here of the pocket page, and so I cut the circles out, and then I had these stars, but they were white. So I just used some of that fired brick and inked them, and it kind of ties into the left side where I inked the COPA Cutfile. But that's pretty much gonna be what I do to the pages here. Make sure you check out the description below. There'll be all the information for the 31 days of Cutfiles, the playlists. Make sure you check out MK and Janet at Galaxy Girl Creations, their pages. Make sure you go to the COPA Cutfiles. You can purchase this cut file here, the stitching cut file, all week. The first week is all stitching, which is fun because I don't really stitch on my layouts that much. And so this is why I like doing the 31 days of cut files, because one, it forces me to think outside the box with all the cut files that, are surprised when you get them. And then two, now I have to stitch, so it's good. But anyways, thanks again to everyone who's liked and subscribed to my channel. I really appreciate it. If you haven't yet, go ahead and hit those buttons below. If you want to be notified of my videos, hit the little bell sign. And thanks, everyone. Have a great day. Bye.